welcome back to our channel. The 5-cent coin, affordable, historic, and a perfect addition to any coin collector's collection. The USA 1958 5 cents coin, also known as the 1958 Jefferson nickel, is a captivating piece of American history that holds a unique place in the world of numismatics. As we delve into the story of this remarkable coin, we'll explore the historical context surrounding its creation, the thought process behind its design, the minting process that brought it to life, and the factors that have contributed to its appeal among collectors. Ultimately, we'll reveal why this coin is valued at a staggering $155,000 today, making it one of the most sought-after coins in the world of American numismatics. To fully appreciate the significance of the 1958 Jefferson nickel, we must begin by looking at the historical backdrop of the United States during the 1950s. The post-World War II era was marked by profound economic and social changes in America. The country was experiencing a period of prosperity, and the decade became known for its booming consumer culture. New inventions, like the television, were reshaping everyday life, while the suburbanization of America was in full swing. In 1958, the U.S. was also experiencing the height of the Cold War, a tense geopolitical struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union that shaped much of global politics during the 20th century. It was during this period of optimism, coupled with the backdrop of international uncertainty, that the 1958 Jefferson nickel was minted. This coin was part of the ongoing evolution of U.S. currency, which had been changing to reflect the changing tastes and values of the nation. The nickel, in particular, had been a staple of American coinage for decades. However, the 1958 version stands out as one that embodies a particular moment in history, reflecting not only the artistic trends of the time but also the political and social currents that defined the post-war world. The design of the 1958 Jefferson nickel is deeply connected to one of America's most iconic historical figures, Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and a founding father. Jefferson was chosen as the central figure for the nickel, replacing the previous figure of Liberty, which had been featured on the 5-cent coin since 1913. This design decision was part of a larger effort to honor the achievements of notable Americans, and Jefferson, known for his role in authoring the Declaration of Independence and his leadership in expanding the United States through the Louisiana Purchase, was an ideal subject for this tribute. The obverse side of the 1958 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, created by renowned artist Felix Schlag. Jefferson is shown in profile, facing left, with his distinctive features and the iconic hair combed neatly behind his ears. The artist's work conveys a sense of dignity and gravitas, capturing Jefferson as both an intellectual leader and a man of action. Surrounding the portrait are the words, "In God We Trust," above, with "Liberty" to the left and "1958" marking the year of minting on the right. At the top of the coin is the inscription, "United States of America," while the phrase, "E pluribus unum," appears beneath the portrait, underscoring the unity of the nation. On the reverse side of the 1958 Jefferson nickel, the design features a depiction of Monticello, the plantation home of Thomas Jefferson located in Virginia. Monticello had been the inspiration for the reverse design of the nickel from the moment it was chosen to replace Liberty. The building itself is rendered with remarkable detail, showcasing its neoclassical architecture and the grandeur of Jefferson's architectural vision. Below Monticello, the words "Monticello" appear, while the inscriptions "E pluribus unum" and "5 cents" are found at the bottom. This reverse design, created by Felix Schlag, has remained a beloved feature of the nickel, and it remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The 1958 Jefferson nickel was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with a total of 120 million coins produced that year. At the time, the minting process was still relatively simple, with coins struck using traditional methods that would later be replaced by more modern techniques. The coin's composition, like most other nickels at the time, consisted of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a combination that made the coin durable and resistant to wear. These coins were released into circulation and spent across the country, becoming a regular part of everyday transactions. However, despite being mass-produced, the 1958 Jefferson nickel was far from ordinary. Like all coins, the value of the 1958 nickel depends largely on its condition. Coins that were used extensively in daily life inevitably showed signs of wear and tear, which diminished their value. But the story of the 1958 Jefferson nickel is unique in that a small percentage of these coins were struck with distinctive features that make them incredibly valuable to collectors today. One of the factors that contributed to the value of the 1958 Jefferson nickel is the discovery of rare, high-grade specimens. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, those that have never been circulated and show no signs of wear, are among the most prized in the world of numismatics. These coins are often graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with a grade of 70 being the highest possible, signifying a coin that is in perfect condition. A coin with such a grade is extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. In addition to high-grade coins, there are also certain rare variations of the 1958 Jefferson nickel that have made headlines in the numismatic community. One such example is the 1958 nickel that was struck with a minting error. These errors can take various forms, such as misstrikes, double strikes, or off-center strikes, and they can make a coin far more valuable than its regular counterparts. In particular, the 1958 Jefferson nickel is known for certain varieties of errors that make them highly desirable among collectors. For example, a rare D/D mint mark error exists, where the mint mark on the coin was struck twice, leading to a doubling effect that is visible to the naked eye. The appeal of these rare specimens extends beyond just the minting errors or high grades. There is also the broader context of the 1958 Jefferson nickel's historical significance. For collectors, this coin represents a time in American history when the nation was experiencing rapid growth and change, a moment when the country was coming to terms with its role as a global power. Thomas Jefferson, as a figure of intellect and vision, became an ideal representation of the nation's forward-looking spirit. The Monticello reverse side is a symbol of both America's founding ideals and its aspirations for the future. Now, let's turn our attention to the most exciting part of the story, the current value of the 1958 Jefferson nickel. While most of the 1958 nickels in circulation are worth only 5 cents, there are certain rare and high-grade versions of this coin that can command astronomical sums in the world of coin collecting. Coins in pristine condition, especially those graded at MS 67 or higher, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. However, the true treasure among these coins lies in the most exceptional examples, those that feature minting errors or extraordinary qualities. When these rare coins are sold at auction, they often fetch six-figure prices. The most sought-after 1958 Jefferson nickel, a coin in perfect condition with a rare minting error or an exceptional grade, can be valued at an astonishing $155,000. This staggering value reflects the demand for unique, historically significant coins in the world of numismatics. Collectors from around the globe are constantly on the lookout for coins like the 1958 Jefferson nickel, as they not only offer a glimpse into America's past but also present the opportunity for rare finds that could bring extraordinary returns. Whether it's the beauty of the coin's design, its connection to Thomas Jefferson, or the chance to own a piece of American history, the 1958 Jefferson nickel remains a highly coveted item among collectors. So, as we conclude our journey through the history and value of the 1958 Jefferson nickel, we can appreciate just how much this simple, 5-cent coin represents. It's not just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of American history, a work of art, and a treasure that continues to captivate numismatists. If you happen to come across one of these rare and valuable coins, take a moment to appreciate its beauty and history. It could very well be worth more than you ever imagined. Thank you for joining me on this fascinating exploration of the 1958 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Who knows, the next time you find a coin in your pocket, it could be the start of a new numismatic adventure. The 1999 USA 5 cents coin, commonly known as the 1999 Jefferson nickel, is more than just a simple piece of currency. It's a coin with a rich history, a captivating design, and an appeal that draws collectors from all over the world. While it may appear to be a modest 5-cent piece, its story stretches far beyond that of its face value. For collectors, historians, and numismatists, the 1999 Jefferson nickel is a coin with layers of significance, each one contributing to its value and appeal. In order to truly understand the importance of this coin, we need to take a step back in time and examine the context in which it was created. The late 1990s were a period of significant change and growth in the United States. The economy was booming, driven by the rise of the internet and the rapid expansion of the tech sector. The nation was at the tail end of the 20th century, with a sense of optimism in the air, buoyed by a period of relative peace and prosperity. Yet, as we know, the course of history is never without its challenges, and the year 1999 would mark the end of a century and the beginning of a new millennium. The U.S. Mint, too, was preparing for change, and this period saw the introduction of a new phase in the Mint's long history. The 1999 Jefferson nickel is part of a larger effort by the Mint to modernize U.S. coinage, introducing new designs and revamping old ones to better reflect the values and symbols of the nation. This effort began in the late 1990s, when the Mint sought to commemorate the country's history by issuing a series of coins that would honor important figures, events, and ideals from America's past. The 1999 Jefferson nickel, however, stands out for its historical significance in more ways than one. First and foremost, the coin features the likeness of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, who has been depicted on the nickel since 1938. Jefferson was an iconic figure, known for his role as the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and for overseeing the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the United States. His influence on the country's founding and development cannot be overstated, and his image has become a lasting symbol of the ideals of democracy and liberty. On the obverse side of the 1999 Jefferson nickel, we find a portrait of Jefferson himself, as designed by the artist Felix Schlag. This portrait has remained largely unchanged for decades and continues to be one of the most enduring and recognizable images in American coinage. Jefferson is depicted in profile, his face serious and dignified, with his distinctive high forehead, prominent nose, and closely cropped hair. Surrounding the image are the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and 1999, as well as "United States of America" and the motto, "E Pluribus Unum." It is a design that has come to symbolize not just Jefferson, but also the democratic values he championed. On the reverse side of the 1999 Jefferson nickel, we see an image of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home in Virginia. Monticello has served as the reverse design for the nickel since its inception, chosen to reflect Jefferson's architectural achievements and his love of classical design. The building is depicted with incredible detail, its neoclassical columns, domed roof, and symmetrical proportions are all carefully rendered, making it one of the most recognizable images on U.S. coinage. Beneath the depiction of Monticello, the words "Monticello," "E Pluribus Unum," and 5 cents are inscribed. While the design of the 1999 Jefferson nickel remains consistent with previous issues, what makes this coin particularly interesting to collectors is the context in which it was minted. The late 1990s were a period of transition for U.S. coinage. In 1999, the U.S. Mint was in the process of modernizing many of its coins, with plans to introduce a new series of state quarters in the years ahead. At the same time, the U.S. economy was in the midst of an unprecedented boom, with the stock market reaching new heights, and the internet revolutionizing the way people communicated, did business, and interacted with the world around them. But it wasn't just the broader economic context that influenced the creation of the 1999 Jefferson nickel. There were also significant changes occurring within the Mint itself. The Mint had been working on several initiatives aimed at improving the security and efficiency of coin production. For example, new technologies were being introduced to prevent counterfeiting and to enhance the overall quality of U.S. coins. This push for innovation and modernization had a direct impact on the design and production of coins like the 1999 Jefferson nickel. In terms of minting details, the 1999 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, with coins struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. A total of over 1.3 billion Jefferson nickels were minted in 1999, making it one of the most widely circulated coins of the year. Like most nickels, the 1999 version was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance that has become synonymous with the 5-cent piece. However, despite the sheer volume of 1999 Jefferson nickels produced, the coin's rarity and value come down to certain variations and errors that occurred during the minting process. Over the years, collectors have discovered several rare and valuable examples of the 1999 nickel, with particular focus on misprints, double die errors, and coins with higher than normal minting qualities. These variations have driven up the demand for the coin, as collectors are always on the lookout for the rarest and most pristine examples. One of the most sought-after errors associated with the 1999 Jefferson nickel is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a slight doubling of the image, most notably on the date or mint mark. Coins featuring this era are highly prized among collectors, as they are incredibly rare and can fetch a high price at auction. A well-preserved example of a 1999 Jefferson nickel with a double die error can easily command a premium, sometimes reaching impressive amounts in the market. Another factor contributing to the appeal of the 1999 Jefferson nickel is its grade. As with all coins, the condition of the coin plays a critical role in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved and remain in near-mint condition are worth significantly more than those that have been heavily circulated. Coins that have been graded as MS-65 or higher are particularly valuable, as they are seen as high-quality examples of the coin, free from wear and damage. So, what's the big reveal? How much could the 1999 Jefferson nickel be worth in today's market? While most 1999 Jefferson nickels in circulation are still worth just 5 cents, certain rare varieties, particularly those with minting errors or in exceptional condition, can fetch astounding sums. At auction, a well-preserved 1999 Jefferson nickel with an error or an exceptionally high grade can be valued at $120,000 or even more. This makes it one of the most valuable 5-cent coins in the world, sought after by collectors and investors alike. The high value of the 1999 Jefferson nickel is a testament to the enduring legacy of American coinage and the lasting impact of Thomas Jefferson on the nation's history. It's a coin that represents more than just a small denomination, it's a piece of history, a symbol of America's founding principles, and a rare and valuable treasure for collectors. Thank you for joining me in exploring the history and value of the 1999 Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or simply someone fascinated by the world of coins, this story serves as a reminder that even the most humble pieces of currency can hold great value, both historically and monetarily. So next time you reach into your pocket for change, you might just be holding onto a piece of American history worth far more than its face value. The 1979 USA 5 cents coin, also known as the 1979 Jefferson nickel, is an intriguing piece of American history. While it may seem like a simple 5-cent coin to the casual observer, for collectors and numismatists, it represents much more. This coin carries with it a unique story, both in terms of its creation and the historical context surrounding it. The 1979 Jefferson nickel is not just another piece of change, it's a coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world for its distinctive features, its place in the broader scope of U.S. currency, and its remarkable value in today's numismatic market. To truly understand the significance of the 1979 5 cents coin, it's essential to explore its historical context. The late 1970s were a transformative time for the United States, marked by political, economic, and cultural shifts. In 1979, America was grappling with the aftermath of the 1970s oil crisis, which led to rising inflation and economic instability. It was also a time when the country was in the midst of the Cold War, with tensions between the US and the Soviet Union reaching a peak. Meanwhile, on the domestic front, the United States was still adjusting to the post-Vietnam War era, and the landscape was being shaped by new cultural movements, from the rise of punk rock to the emergence of computer technology. Amidst these societal changes, the U.S. Mint continued its work of producing the nation's currency, including the 1979 Jefferson nickel. The coin itself was designed to honor Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers and the third President of the United States. Jefferson, who is most famously known for authoring the Declaration of Independence and for overseeing the Louisiana Purchase, had already been featured on the nickel for decades by this point. His image had been chosen to replace the depiction of liberty on the 5-cent coin in 1938, and it remained a symbol of the nation's ideals and democratic principles. The obverse side of the 1979 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, a design created by the artist Felix Schlag. Schlag's depiction of Jefferson has become one of the most recognizable faces in American coinage. Jefferson is shown in profile, facing left, with his distinctive features, his high forehead, prominent nose, and neatly combed hair, giving him a dignified and thoughtful expression. Surrounding the portrait are the words, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty," to the left, and 1979, on the right. The inscription, "United States of America," is found at the top, while the phrase, "E pluribus unum," appears below the portrait. This side of the coin remains one of the most iconic representations of the nation's third president and serves as a reminder of the principles on which the country was founded. The reverse side of the 1979 Jefferson nickel features an image of Monticello, the plantation home of Thomas Jefferson located in Virginia. Monticello had been chosen as the reverse design of the nickel when it was first introduced, symbolizing Jefferson's architectural genius and his dedication to classical design. The building is rendered with exquisite detail, showcasing its neoclassical columns and domed roof. Below the depiction of Monticello, the word Monticello is inscribed, with E pluribus unum and 5 cents appearing beneath the building. The reverse design remains largely unchanged from the coin's original design, which has made it one of the most enduring and beloved images in American coinage. The minting process for the 1979 Jefferson nickel was relatively straightforward. The coin was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with over 350 million of these coins being produced that year. Like most nickels, the 1979 version was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it its familiar silvery appearance. However, despite its widespread circulation, the 1979 Jefferson nickel has become more than just a common coin. It has become an object of fascination for collectors due to certain unique features that have emerged over time. One of the key factors that make the 1979 Jefferson nickel so appealing to collectors is its variety. In the world of numismatics, certain coins become more valuable due to subtle differences or errors that occur during the minting process. The 1979 nickel is no exception. Over the years, collectors have identified several variations and minting errors that make certain examples of the coin much rarer, and consequently more valuable, than others. One of the most significant variations of the 1979 Jefferson nickel involves the mint mark. The mint mark, which indicates the facility where the coin was produced, is a small letter stamped on the coin, typically located on the obverse side near the date. In the case of the 1979 Jefferson nickel, some examples were struck with a mint mark that is doubled, creating a subtle but noticeable error on the coin. This D over D mint mark error, where the D mint mark from the Denver mint was struck over a previous D, makes certain coins particularly valuable among collectors. The discovery of such errors often leads to intense interest and competition in the market, as these coins are seen as rare finds that add uniqueness and historical intrigue to a collection. In addition to mint mark errors, another factor contributing to the appeal of the 1979 Jefferson nickel is the condition in which it has been preserved. As with most coins, the value of the 1979 nickel is significantly affected by its grade, which is a measure of its condition. Coins that have been well preserved, with no visible signs of wear or damage, are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades commanding higher prices. A coin that is in mint state, meaning it has never been used in circulation and remains in pristine condition, is considered the most valuable. Many of the 1979 Jefferson nickels that have remained uncirculated over the years have been graded at MS 65 or higher, and these coins can fetch substantial sums at auction. What makes the 1979 Jefferson nickel particularly fascinating to collectors is its relatively low production during certain periods, especially when compared to other years of the same coin. While over 350 million nickels were produced in 1979, most of these coins were circulated and spent. As a result, only a small fraction of the 1979 nickels were preserved in exceptional condition, making them a rare find in today's market. This rarity, combined with the inherent historical and artistic value of the coin, has led to a surge in demand among collectors. And the best part? The 1979 Jefferson nickel has become a true gem in the numismatic world, with some of the rarest and most pristine examples commanding incredible sums at auction. So, now for the big reveal: the current value of the 1979 Jefferson nickel. While most circulated examples of this coin are still worth only 5 cents, certain rare and high-grade specimens can be worth far more. Coins with minting errors or those that have been preserved in near-perfect condition can command six-figure prices in the world of coin auctions. For example, a 1979 Jefferson nickel with an error or a particularly high grade could fetch up to $134,000 at auction, making it one of the most valuable coins in the U.S. mint's history. This remarkable value is a testament to the lasting appeal of the 1979 Jefferson nickel, a coin that represents much more than just its denomination. It serves as a symbol of American history, reflecting the legacy of Thomas Jefferson and the evolving nature of U.S. currency. As we conclude our exploration of the 1979 5-cent coin, we are reminded of the excitement and passion that drives the world of coin collecting. Whether it's the artistry of the design, the historical significance, or the thrill of discovering a rare and valuable find, the 1979 Jefferson nickel remains a prized treasure in the world of numismatics. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history and value of the 1979 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Who knows, maybe the next time you handle a handful of change, you'll find yourself holding onto a coin worth more than you could have ever imagined.